Welcome back to The Last Boot, the channel where football is more than a game. It is passion. It is pain. It is glory. It is heartbreak. We tell the stories behind the moments that shook the world. The tears. The triumphs. The players who gave everything. And the ones who lost it all. I am so glad you are here today. If you are new here, please subscribe and join the Last Boot family. We are growing every single day and I do not want you to miss a single story. Today we are talking about the most controversial, the most brilliant, the most human, and the most impossible footballer who ever lived. There are players who win games. And then there are players who win games in ways that make you question what you just witnessed. Players who do things with a football that seem to belong to a different dimension entirely. Players whose left foot is not just a weapon, it is a wand. Rivaldo was that player. And this is his story. Rivaldo Vitor Borba Ferreira was born on the 19th of April 1972 in Paulista, a small, poor town in the state of Pernambuco in northeastern Brazil. His childhood was defined by poverty so severe that there were days his family did not have enough to eat. His father worked tirelessly. His mother sacrificed everything. And Rivaldo, like so many Brazilian children before him, found his escape in football. He played on the streets, on dirt pitches, with bare feet and a ball that was sometimes nothing more than a bundle of rags tied together. But even then, even on those dusty streets of Paulista, people stopped to watch him. Because there was something in the way he moved with a ball that was simply different. An elegance. A creativity. A left foot that seemed to have a mind of its own. He was going to be special. Everyone could see it. His professional journey began slowly. Very slowly. He played for several small Brazilian clubs before finally getting his chance at Corinthians. Then came Santa Cruz. Then Mogi Mirim. Then Palmeiras. It was at Palmeiras that Europe first took notice. And in 1996 Deportivo de La Coruña in Spain came calling. Rivaldo arrived in Europe relatively unknown. He left as one of the most talked about players on the continent. 1 season. 17 goals. A level of skill and creativity that left Spanish football completely stunned. Barcelona were watching. And in 1997 they signed him. At Barcelona, Rivaldo became a god. 5 seasons. 130 goals. 2 La Liga titles. A Copa del Rey. And in 1999 the Ballon d'Or. The award given to the best footballer on the planet. But it was not just the goals. It was how he scored them. Bicycle kicks from the edge of the box. Free kicks that bent around walls and into corners that seemed physically impossible. Goals with the outside of his left foot. Goals from angles that simply should not have existed. There is one goal against Valencia in 1999 where Rivaldo received the ball on the left side of the box with his back to goal. He flicked it up with his left foot. Let it drop over his right shoulder. And then, still with his back half turned, he bicycle kicked it into the top corner. The Valencia goalkeeper stood completely still. He did not even attempt to save it. Because what do you do when you see something that should not be possible? You simply watch. And you remember it for the rest of your life. But it was the 2002 World Cup in Japan and South Korea where Rivaldo wrote his name permanently into football history. Brazil were in trouble in the group stage. They needed to beat Turkey to qualify. With the score at 1-1 and seconds remaining, a Turkish player kicked the ball at Rivaldo's legs. Rivaldo fell. Held his face. The Turkish player was sent off. It was not Rivaldo's finest moment. And he admitted it later. But football is human. And humans are complicated. Brazil qualified. And then Rivaldo caught fire. He scored 5 goals in that tournament. He was magnificent throughout. And in the final against Germany alongside Ronaldo and Ronaldinho, he was part of the most devastating attacking trio Brazil had assembled since 1970. Brazil won the World Cup. Their 5th. And Rivaldo, the boy from Paulista who grew up without enough food, lifted the trophy under the lights of Yokohama. He played on after 2002. At AC Milan. At Olympiacos in Greece, where he became a legend. At Bunyodkar in Uzbekistan. At clubs across the world that were simply grateful to have him. He retired in 2011 at the age of 39. Still playing. Still loving the game that had given him everything. Rivaldo finished his career with 74 goals for Brazil. With a Ballon d'Or. With a World Cup winner's medal. With memories that will last as long as football is played. But more than any trophy or any statistic, Rivaldo left behind moments. Pure, stunning, impossible moments that remind you why football is the most beautiful game in the world. A left foot that was not just a weapon. It was a wand. And the boy from Paulista who grew up with nothing used it to give the world everything. That is it for today's story on The Last Boot. If this video moved you, please give it a big thumbs up. Share this with every football fan you know. Hit subscribe and join the Last Boot family. See you in the next video. Until then, keep the passion alive.